government of Bahrain is on its way to being a properly diversified economy. So over the past 20 years, the government of Bahrain has diversified away from the oil and gas sector into sectors which are basic service-based sectors. About 20 years ago, oil and gas sector made up above 40% of contribution to GDP, and today it's below 18%. And it's no longer the number one contributor to GDP. Financial services is. So financial services, as well as other service-based sectors, such as the logistics, the ICT sector, are playing a more and more important role when it comes to contribution to GDP. And it's these sectors which are well placed to benefit from the AI kind of revolution. So services such as financial services, insurance, legal services, healthcare, cybersecurity are really at the top of our kind of priority list at the government. So AI will do things faster for these sectors. Productivity in these sectors will go up considerably. And as a result, of course, contribution to GDP in turn will go up. But as a government, I think some of our priorities really have been investing in the technology infrastructure to allow businesses to benefit from this wave. And
these are back-end infrastructure investments?
Absolutely, back-end infrastructure investments. And when we see that the return on these investments are significantly higher than other infrastructure investments, there is, of course, a socio-economical return. And also, we've realized that the importance of being quick to respond when it comes to new technologies and new industries. It's critical that we don't over-regulate, especially when it comes to, for example, AI. But at the same time, because, of course, too much regulation can limit creativity and innovation, but at the same time, keep our finger on the pulse and be aware of what's happening so that we can react quickly to opportunities, but threats as well.
So what's an example of area of regulation where you have taken some steps? I imagine there's a debate about how far to go with data privacy and nationalization versus global data.
Yeah, so what we did, an example, for example, is we had a cloud-first policy in the government of Bahrain, and now over 90% of all government data is on a cloud, and services are all cloud-based. Bahrain introduced the first data jurisdiction law, which gives sovereign treatment to data. So basically, data stored in Bahrain is treated similar to how an embassy would be treated.
I see.
As only a court in the nation of origin will be able to access that data. And as a result, of course, we saw a lot of demand from companies such as AWS, who decided to set up their first hyperscale data center in Bahrain as a result, of course.
The inexpensive energy had nothing to do with it?
No, I don't think so.
Not at all. No. Okay, all right. Well,
no, it was, and we were able to introduce this jurisdiction, this sort of regulation very quickly. Within a few months, which is really what we see as the opportunity.
So agility matters.
Agility is that's it. Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Those are some great examples. Thank you. If I may come to you, Minister, on this question, because
Sure.
You not only think about the technology, you have a mandate also for the people of your country and the jobs. When you encourage all those efficiency investments and productivity gains, how did that work out in the population at large, or amongst your fellow ministers who think about employment, for example?
I don't see a major disruption to employment because, as you said, there would be new industries coming up, while AI will replace, some of the lower value jobs. Some of the higher value jobs will be created as a result.
That's the theory. Are you finding this in practice since you've been pursuing this for some time?
Well, we haven't seen AI being implemented in full scale in practice yet.
So it's early days for you.
It's early days, and I think for everybody. But when we look at, for example, industry, AI will play an important part in industry. But most of factories, or many factories, are already automated. So the high-value jobs we foresee in industry specifically will remain. The major impact is possibly going to happen in the service sort of industries. But as I said, we feel confident that there would be new emerging industries which will come up and create, as a result of the growth in the global economy, of course, new sectors, new industries will create new opportunities and new jobs. So definitely there will be a shift.
Well, you point me to a question I want to direct to the minister. You happen to be in a part of the world that's blessed with natural resources, both of the hydrocarbon kind, but also wind and solar resources aplenty. We just have to step outside to discover it very quickly. What do you think about this, the energy consumption of AI, and could it be turned to your advantage? Could we see this become a source of advantage for regions like this part of the world because of the access to inexpensive energy, that you become a cluster, and maybe even related industries? We see a new map of industrialization where both with the AI-related industries, but perhaps hydrogen, green hydrogen, other things that are energy intensive might actually begin to come here from other parts of the world.
I think that's already happening. I think, but I think it's an important point to recognize. It's good to have ambitious goals and targets, but we need to look at how we will get there. Of course, investment in AI and cloud computing and new technologies require big amounts of energy. How will we get there is an important question. I think the region, yes, is well placed, not only because of their natural resources, but also because of their progressiveness and their keenness to invest in new technologies and infrastructure. And so I think absolutely it's a kind of an opportunity for I would say the GCC or the GCC region to benefit from the trend towards AI